Hey, happy Cinco de Mayo. Hey, I'm your man, Rod Love. Welcome to the sit down. Sister Wynn, how you doing this evening?
I'm doing well. What about yourself?
Hey, I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine.
Right.
Hey, Doc Polite, how you doing this evening, brother?
I'm doing good. I'm doing excellent.
Hey, man, I just mentioned happy Cinco de Mayo. You had on a nice brim, and then you go and start the show and take it off, huh?
Yeah, it's not ready for prime time.
Oh, it's not ready for prime time? Oh, so he's just showing
Oh,
up.
he's just
I tell you, it's in the process of being distressed. So, see, the edges of it, I got to get those pressed out and put some blocking on it and everything to make it really.
Well, it looks good from
It
where we're
does.
sitting, man. It
It
looks good from
does.
where we're sitting. Hey, those of you
Thank
who are joining the sit down takes place every Monday from 6. Sometimes we say from 6 to 6:45, but let Doc and Sister Wynn start going at it. We, we can run, we can run over.
we jump on and we jump in, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, for those of you, we want you to really tune in because we're going to change gears for this show, and we're looking at doing this probably for the next 4 or 5 shows to look at how we can get our arms around it.
Mhm.
But what you're going to see tonight isn't something that you are going to would have expected to see. Tonight, we're going to bring something into your homes that is not comfortable to address, but it's a reality, and this is something that deals with young people. And if you have a teenager that's in your home, we would recommend that you pull them closer to, if you're looking at us on your phone or your iPad, here's something that I think is going to bring a great deal of value to your life tonight, but it's going to bring you a hell of a lot of heartbreak too.
Yes.
So,
Absolutely.
so with that, let me just kind of prime us up. Um, Doc Polite and Sister Wynn and I, we were talking about the 3 yards. And when you say 3 yards, some people are thinking about yards in measurement.
Yes.
We're not talking about yards in measurement. Um, when I was in college and also high school, I ran track.
Mhm.
And I'm familiar with passing the baton, but I will start us off because it's 3 yards that we're going to talk about tonight.
Okay. Okay.
And I'm going to start us off and I'm going to just introduce and I'm going to ask my co host, let's be real succinct and hit these 3 yards. And the first yard that I'm going to talk about is the yard of the home.
Mhm.
Focus on that because that's going to come back to you. The yard of the home. And Sister Wynn, what's the other yard that we have? We got the 3 yards.
The next yard is your prison yard where you don't want to end up. No child needs to end up here, but that's a yard. That's the second yard.
And those are two realities.
Mhm.
Hey Doc, will you give everybody that third yard?
Yeah, y'all gave me the most lethal and the most final, and that's the graveyard.
That's
That
the graveyard.
is that's it. Ain't no do-over, ain't no leftovers. You end up there. That's all she wrote.
So
That's
so
it.
so the 3 yards and please everybody tune in and follow us on this. The 3 yards is the home yard
Mhm.
where you know we feel secure, where what we need we hope is there.
Mhm.
Then Miss Wynn, you talked
We
about
have
the
the-
graveyard.
Nope.
I mean, I'm
Prison
sorry, the
yard.
prison yard.
Prison yard is where we don't want to end up, but there's consequences for your action.
Absolutely. And Doc,
And the graveyard, like I said, that's all she wrote. It's over with. You can't go back. You can't go back and say, Mama, I'm sorry.
yeah,
Mhm.
Daddy, I'm sorry. Grandma, I'm sorry I let you down. There is there's no redemption in the graveyard. See, at least at home or in the prison yard, you can redeem yourself.
Mhm.
But once you're in that graveyard, everything is over with.
it's over.
Yeah.
Hey, and with that, because I don't want to keep everybody on the edge of their seat, trying to figure out, where we're going with this.
Mhm.
I think the best thing to do is let's take everybody there, Doc.
Okay. I clipped this thing and let me tell you, I just
Well,
y'all just watch this. Hold on.
Okay.
I'm there with you.
Your parents. Okay? Okay? I don't know how things gonna turn out for you. I ain't got no idea how nothing gonna turn out. No idea at all. Okay, I had to tell them that I pick y'all up. Okay? I had to tell them I pick y'all up, okay? Okay. But I didn't know nothing. I didn't know nothing the second I told y'all don't tell me nothing. Didn't I tell you that? Okay. All right, baby. So I'm so sorry you got to go through what you're going through. But if God help you out of this, please get yourself together, baby. And it's going to take a miracle. It's going to take a miracle that we don't have. You can turn me loose now. You can sit back down because I don't know what's going to happen, baby. I don't know what's going to happen. Your grandma don't know. Ain't nothing we can do to help you now. It's all over now. I know. It's a hard pill to swallow.
You can't see my breath no more.
No, nobody. 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 That's why when you have your precious time, it should be precious time.
I didn't get to see Kina go right yet.
Well, Andre, you have to mind your company that you keep. And I always tell you that to mind your company that you keep.
Hey, you know, if that doesn't touch a nerve, I don't know what will.
That right there, your heart goes out to not just the grandmama and the family, but that young man too, because too often kids are clueless in many sense, and they think that when we adults are trying to intervene, slow them down, or redirect them, it's because somehow we don't want them to be who they are. But often what we're saying is what you're getting ready to do right now is going to be a life-defining thing. It's certain people you're hanging with that in a moment's time, being with them can cost you your life.
Yes.
Not just figuratively to the graveyard, but also your freedom. And this is that. I mean, that's what she's saying. In all of that, you know that this kid has been forewarned. He didn't heed it. He didn't think the reality of this day would ever arrive.
It's so many lessons
Yeah.
in just that clip.
Yes.
And I mean,
Yes.
and we want to welcome our audience to dial in and let us know how you felt about that clip. And yes, we will be playing it back so that you can understand the full gravity of it. But one of the things I immediately got from it was, did y'all hear when she said you got to mind the company that you keep?
Yes. Yep.
Mhm.
That is true. That is so true. And that's almost
And
like the parents need to get to know their kids' friends.
Mm-hmm.
Not only get to know the kids, get to know their
The
parents.
parents, yes.
You know, growing up, we wasn't able to go to everybody's house.
Mm-hmm.
You know, your parents had to almost like vet them before you can go. And even if they did vet them, there were still times, no, they can come to our house, but you know, you don't know who's in and out of someone else's house.
But how did we get here? Think about it. Now we are in a time where most people with children younger than 18 at home are dealing with these three outcomes. Possibility, very real. Even if you're a parent that's involved, okay, and circumstances like the young man that stabbed the other boy.
Mm-hmm.
By all accounts, they are both from middle class families, okay, doing very well. Okay, their families love them. They were brought up middle class, not abandoned, parented well, but yet and still the culture of the street entered their logic in their dynamic, their thinking and their actions. Okay, for them to roll out and fight and it become deadly. When I was growing up, and yeah, I'm telling my age, you fist fall. You got a black eye, busted lip, or something like that, maybe a broken bone, but at least you got to go home.
You're right. Hey, Doc, you're right. And I want people to understand the gravity of this. Doc, if you would, man, please play that clip back, man, because the gravity of it is just
Gives you a chill.
changes your life in
Yeah.
in 1,000 of a second.
And
Your parents. Okay? Okay? I don't know how things gonna turn out for you. I ain't got no idea how nothing gonna turn out. No idea at all. Okay, I had to tell them that I pick y'all up. Okay? I had to tell them I pick y'all up, okay? Okay. But I didn't know nothing. I didn't know nothing this second. I told y'all don't tell me nothing. Didn't I tell you that? Okay. All right, baby. So I'm so sorry you got to go through what you're going through. But if God help you out of this, please get yourself together, baby. And it's going to take a miracle. It's going to take a miracle that we don't have. You can turn me loose now. You can sit back down because I don't know what's going to happen, baby. I don't know what's going to happen. Your grandma don't know. Ain't nothing we can do to help you now. It's all over now. I know. It's a hard pill to swallow.
You can't see my breath no more.
No, nobody. That's why when you have your precious time, it should be precious time.
I didn't get to get up right yet.
Well, Andre, you have to mind your company that you keep. And I always tell you that to mind your company that you keep.
Hey, and you know what? And I guess to frame this up a little bit more, we're assuming, and I'm going to put it out there. We're assuming that this young man has unfortunately been part of something that took place that what could be a tragedy as it relates to somebody else's life.
well, you can hear the hopelessness in the grandmother's voice.
Yes.
I mean, you literally can hear her. She's just as lost. She doesn't know what to tell him. She has no comforting words, no words of encouragement, because she understands how grave this situation.
She uses the word. She used the word God. She used the word miracle. And
Yeah.
Doc, what else did you hear in her voice, Doc?
I hear anguish. Like, if we had did something different with him, if we had a good thing. Now, something I caught on too, and this is what I want to say it right, but she said, "Mind the company you keep," and often you hear parents allude to that, but sometimes their child is the company that's being kept. You understand? So you can't always say it's the company you keep. You can say it's circumstances, but it's almost like she's alluding that the responsibility was elsewhere. But what if he's the ringleader?
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
When you start that at home, when they know right and wrong from home, and you show them what the consequences are gonna be, they making an informed decision. You see what I'm saying? It's not like you didn't tell them, you didn't teach them.
Yeah. And it's something else too that caught my eye when he was hugging her so tight. She was like, "Baby, you could let me go." You know, it's almost like he didn't want to let her go, but she was like, "Baby, there's nothing else that I know what to do for you."
And something else
You know?
that Doc and I was talking about, and I don't know if you picked up on this, and I had to watch it a couple of times when she said, "Baby, I had to tell them
Yes.
that I just picked y'all up.
Mm-hmm.
And then she said something else that stuck out.
Mm-hmm.
She said, "I told y'all, don't tell me nothing."
Nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Because
You know, cause
in her mind,
that's
she
hey,
thinking
that's what
whatever
kids
they
do.
tell her, she gonna have to repeat it.
Well, here's what kids do. Kids will twist their story to make themselves not responsible. You understand what I'm saying? And in telling her that, she can only repeat what
You said.
she's being told.
Mhm.
And the parents make that mistake. A lot of times they're defending their child and there's no defense. And then when something like now they're in a police station, mind you, I'm assuming, and this is recorded. That is
Yeah.
recorded.
Yeah.
That it shows his guilt.
And so here's what it said to me. It said to me, "I don't want to be an accessory.
Yes. Don't tell me nothing.
I don't want to be an accessory to whatever took place."
Mm-hmm.
Well, not only that, it also shows me the lack of awareness that they both have. This is not something I would want caught on tape. Period.
But Doc, let me say this, and just think about this. You, Sister Wynn, think about this.
Mhm.
Think about all the things that we teach in schools.
Mhm.
Go with me on this,
Okay.
because when I look at some of the situations that we're dealing with, and for me, when we look at communities that we have a high rate of referrals from SROs, when we look at communities where we have a high rate of referrals dealing with delinquency, when we look at communities that we have a high rate of calls for service from law enforcement,
Mhm.
I believe what we're doing tonight should be done in the schools on a regular basis to show young people that here's your warning.
Mhm.
Here's your warning that
Yeah.
you need to make better decisions because your life can change in the blink of an eye.
Yep.
And with your chest out.
Listen, can I interject some reality to this conversation? We having a real conversation about this, okay? And here's the thing. We have to understand that it's not a racial thing. There is a component of our society that has decided that low income people are expendable and commodities. And they steer those people into those situations. So I'm not going to teach you how to avoid situations like that in school, because you're part of the cog. You're in the cog. You're in the system. You're part of our systemic operation. We have turned poverty into a business in this country, and this is a part of that. When we talk about the school to prison,
The pipeline, the prison, the pipeline.
yeah.
But Doc, let's continue. Let's continue with this conversation because, you know, I think all three of, well, maybe me and Doc, I don't know about Miss Wynn, but we came from humble beginning, poverty, if you want to call it that. And it was the type of poverty that we didn't know we were poor
Yeah.
because we had what we needed, not necessarily what we wanted, but we had what we needed.
Right.
But Doc, I think it's a fine line from the perspective that I would adjudicate myself one of those folks that was a commodity for a delinquency or the prison system and things of that nature. And the only reason why I say that is my mom and Doc, I knew your mom didn't play. And so I
Yeah.
think, yeah, you know, so I don't relate it to, you know, if you come from poverty that you're more susceptible to fall that way. I would say it's all about, man, and I'll say first and foremost, blessings from above, but decision making, fear of consequences.
A lot of it is social relationships. What type of family you're born into often determines what you become.
I don't. I gotta push
disagree
back
with
on you,
that
Doc.
one. Because
I'm
you
t-
can
okay.
have some
Okay.
wealthy kids that still
Yeah,
get in
that's
the
a good
same
example.
trouble.
I was gonna do it the other way, but that's a good example. That's a good
Listen.
example.
Listen. Think beyond what I'm just saying about the family, because circumstance, you can live in a certain neighborhood, and because of what you're exposed to there in relation to what goes on, whether you're allowed to see that stuff and not have it explained to you, can impact your choices. If everybody around you in your neighborhood are boosters and you got people in your family, whether right or wrong, that don't condone that, don't teach you that it's wrong,
But Doc, I
You
can't go.
can grow.
I can't go on
if
that one
we
because
see we want it, we don't like this. See, most people have
but
that
it's not.
reaction
But it's
with
not
y'all
that I
have.
don't like it. It's
It's a-
that you got good and bad in every community.
Mm-hmm,
You
absolutely.
do, but again,
The need just happens to be greater.
environment
poor communities.
plays a very critical role in it.
What place? I'm sorry.
He
I
said
can't-
environment.
Environment, your immediate social grouping plays a role in it.
But that
But
comes
that
down
one-
to picking your crew a whole lot better. And
Mhm.
I hear what you're saying, Doc. I just can't ride on that because I do believe people have decisions to make. Just because everything I see around me is gonna be, let's just say, may not be the best for me.
Mhm.
Yeah, I might be more susceptible to be drawn into it, but I got to have some other strong risk factors for me to be compelled to go in that direction. But also, you have certain what they call assets.
Mhm.
Assets with that mom who refuses to let you do what you want,
Want to do.
come and go when you want, be a 14-year-old and hang out till midnight.
Mhm.
I mean, you got hardworking folk that living in impoverished communities that are making their kids subscribe to a better life, saying you will study, you will get an education.
Yeah.
And where
Yeah.
we see it
Yes.
a great
Yeah.
deal from is from people who don't come from, and I hate to say it, but there's a facility in a very impoverished community, and both of you know where I'm talking about.
Mhm.
It's a vocational training facility
Mhm.
in the heart of the Black community.
Mhm.
And the majority of the people who go to that facility to seek a better life don't look like us.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. Nope.
And see now in the instance where you do have those kids that are in good families, right?
Mhm.
Where they do everything right, they go to church, they pray together, they do all that stuff. What happened? Why did those kids turn out bad? Why did those kids go to jail?
I'm not going to say that it was any other predetermined risk factor, Doc, because you got folk that come from well-off-to-do families that fall into the same traps.
Many times, and this is part of parenting too. My grandmother used to say, "Oh, you can't go over to such and such a house because them kids, the family ain't no good." Okay. Now, if you said that, man, you probably get murdered by somebody for saying that. But the reality is that oftentimes what happens is that peer influence can override that parenting.
Well, that's almost
And
like
that's a lot of times that's how you get kids in certain social groupings, and you wonder, well, why did they go and do this? I got a relative, he's dead now, but I got a relative that this guy, he went to Jones, heck of a basketball player. Okay, he was going to follow Darryl Dawkins right into the NBA from Jones. That he was that good. And you meet his mom, she was the sweetest woman. He went to church along with the rest of us and everything. But he got out there and hit the friends. Them friends got to him, and he was hanging out, drinking, liquor and weed and all that stuff. Okay. And he was a child by all means that was given every opportunity. And his mom worked at Martin Marietta at that point. And he went out and just went wild, went to jail and all this stuff, blew all his opportunities to go pro and all that stuff. And you can directly look, if you know him, you can directly point to the influence of his peer group that overcame his
and I'll go with you, and I'll go with you on that, Doc. I just can't go with you on if you come from a poor community.
No. I'm not saying a poor community.
So I agree with you on the peer pressure, but that's what the show is all about.
Your social grouping, when I'm saying social grouping, what I mean is the things that you are around. See, you could be in a bad social group in a mansion.
You're right.
It's it's what those people around you are influence you or not influence you. Negative influence can be just as dangerous as positive influence. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. And what we're saying here, at least what I'm trying to say, is that video that we showed, we have to figure a way, and it goes back to something you said, Doc. Where did we go wrong with this? Where did that young man go wrong? What took place in his life that put him in that situation? And I don't know, he looked about 14, 15 years old to me.
Right.
And so where I would go with that is we got to figure a way to impress upon young people that there's going to be consequences for your actions.
Yes.
Okay. You and I both work with juveniles, right? And the first thing we do when we get a new kid, what we do?
Assessment.
We go and do what's called a biopsychosocial. That biopsychosocial is a snapshot of the things in his life that may contribute to his success or his failure. What's his home life like? What's his grade and attendance? All of those things play a critical role in giving you a view of this person based on the behavior that's traceable, that has a history.
Behavior and here's where I'm gonna go with you, Doc. Behavior and that kid's quote unquote environment. I mean, and this is not to say that this is the same for everybody, but the trajectory of children's lives either peel off or start going down when you see kids coming from a single parent family.
Yeah.
If if you see a kid that's residing in a lower socioeconomic, and I hear what Doc is saying, and I want to kind of banter that because I don't want to have people think that what we're saying is if you come from a socioeconomic deprived community that you're gonna.
Yeah.
But I get what you.
By no means am I saying that.
But Doc, I hear what you're saying about the assessment. The assessment identifies all of those different risk factors.
Right. That can give you a glance into that person's life. Okay.
They can give you a glance at that moment in that person's life.
Well,
But
no,
if you keep coming around, that person could change his life around with the right mentor, with even being with the juvenile justice, being on probation. You can work with that child.
Well,
Something Doc brought up when you look at a kid's educational factors, because and Ms. Wynn, you're familiar with this, the communities that care model that focuses on family, focuses on individual, focuses on education, and I'm missing one of them. I can't remember what it is, but it goes to what Doc, when he mentioned grades, your behavior, and attendance. If you're not going to school, what are you doing?
That's true.
Who are you hanging with?
And then another factor too that's not often pointed out when we talk about single parents. People tend to attack single moms and blame them for the situation. But here's what I say: there are millions of single women that raise highly functional kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one of the significant differences is that single parent is not the only one involved in that child's
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
They have an extended family
Yeah.
where there are other examples. Because see, you know, what we say, you want a daddy, but many people have fathers. Okay, but that behavior, what does a dad bring to the table? A dad can bring validation, structure, and discipline, and insistence of
Yes.
performance. Now, if somebody else's step, like for me, it was my grandmother. My grandma didn't play the radio, period. Okay, and then my oldest aunt, the one I visit all the time over in Orlando, was 93. She didn't play the radio either. So I constantly had those two women, along with my mom, who were putting the guardrails up, insisting this. You ain't hanging out all summer. You're going out to Jones and you're gonna do Saturday school.
Yep.
Constructive.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
giving me directions rather than trying to let me stay home and figure it out myself. They said, no, we already got it figured out for you. This is what you're gonna do.
Doc, you just brought up something. I didn't think about this. We've all heard of absentee fathers,
Yes.
but
Mhm.
and I didn't think about it till Doc just said what he said about dad. You never heard of an absentee dad, because it's almost like an oxymoron part of
Yeah.
it, because a
In
dad
order to
is
be a
somebody-
dad, you got to show up and be present.
be present. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there are characteristics that other people can't perform in that dad role. We don't like to identify them that way, but one of the things is that extended family being involved. Okay. There were many times where just because of who my family is, there was absolute demand on our time and on our conduct. You do not go out. You are a Rutherford. That was told to us all the time. And if you've been in Orlando any amount of time, and old Orlando, you know who the Rutherford families are and is. Okay, because it was at one time it was one of the wealthiest families, black families in Orlando. They used to own all that land over there where the Citrus Bowl is. And where that all the way back to where that Lincoln dealer is, right there, all that Rock Lake, all of that at one time belonged to the Rutherford family. So we had an expectation. People went to college. We had an expectation on us, okay, and we modeled that. The worst thing I wanted to do as a child was embarrass my family, especially my grandmother. And so when you have those guidelines, see that structure, I'm telling you, discipline is love. Discipline is the most powerful love you can give anybody. Saying, I'm going to structure this because I love you too much to see you fall to the wayside. So I'm going to put guardrails up to help you become productive with your life. I know it's your life, but I'm going to at least give you a foundation on how to live it.
Hey, Doc, Miss Squeak, go ahead.
It was something that Doc just said about the last name. I agree with that, but some of my last names, I want to kind of keep them over there on that side. And then we have the good side. So it's like, do you want to
Every family is like that.
Yeah.
Well, every family has split personality,
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
and that's normal. But you gotta if you got people around you immediately who can help you deal with that,
Oh, yeah.
you see what I'm saying? You avoid getting involved with that side of the family shenanigans.
So Doc, Sister Wynn, let me ask y'all this question. Because we played the video of this young man. It's heartbreaking because you immediately know, and as Doc mentioned, you can feel the tone
Yes.
of what's taking place.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we don't know how he got there, because I mean, Doc, that was a good question that you brought up. How did he get there?
Yeah.
But let's talk about this. what are some of the solutions? I mean, you can go from one city to the next, one county to the next. Everybody got a lot of the same issues. And a lot of these issues are growing. They're not constricted. What are some of the solutions? Because we have young people that are filling up the juvenile detention centers. We have young people that are filling up prisons more so now than ever before.
And see, and that was the point I was trying to make, Rod, about the prison industrial complex and the need for bodies, commodities. This is why I feel that education is lacking in this country. That's a big part of it to me, because certain people can make a lot of money with it. If you're not educated, your choice and thinking oftentimes is not about positive things. You don't know better. You don't have that awareness and consciousness. And if we look at our society, they are dismantling education. Why would a country want to dismantle its education system? That means that the majority of the citizens won't aspire to be anything. They won't learn, or they'll be impacted by low quality education, rendering them more dependent on the state or a get over.
But Doc, I hear you, but I'm one of them folk. See, Doc is in the stream getting those kids. Doc in the stream getting them. But I'm one of those cats that I'm sitting back saying, you see all these kids flowing downstream, and you're gonna exhaust yourself doing this. I'm gonna go upstream to see who put them in the water. and so with that being the case, and Doc is a smart cat, because you lead me, by the way. I hope you know you lead me on where I'm going with this, and that is, it's greater to invest upstream than it is in the prison. But Doc, we've heard this many times before. There's more money to make on the treatment than the cure. You know,
and that's my point. That's why they are being turned into commodities. I don't want you to get better. I want you to be dysfunctional. So now my wife, Polly, who went to Brown to get her counseling degree, she's got a job. You guarantee her a job.
But come on, Doc. I mean, and I ain't arguing with you, but I got to be the devil's advocate, and I don't like to use the word me being the devil, but the fact, Doc, that we got to place some onus on the community itself.
Yes.
I mean, and not some, a lot.
So,
yes.
So
something that I'm sorry, Doc. Something.
Go ahead.
With Saturday school, I think we need to. Not a Saturday, but we need to have our elementary kids start going to summer school to keep up on the reading. Doc says if they don't have that education, we got to find a way to get these kids educated during that summertime, because during that summertime, that's too much time on your hands.
Research out there that says if a kid is not reading at grade level in the third grade, the trajectory of their life starts going down.
They may be one in this prison yard.
Do you know what most kids in other countries do first? The first lessons they get when they start going to school, the first couple of years, you know what they learn?
What's that?
Socialization. They learn how to get along with other people and how to serve their community. Okay? That's what they learn first. When you go to Japan, you go to China, and throughout Asia, there are no janitors in the schools.
So they have to service their own school.
That's right. That's
Doc,
right.
when you were growing up, Doc, when you were growing up, and Miss Wynn, I'm gonna ask you the same question. Did y'all go to was summer school available year round? I mean, and not year round. I'm sorry, not year round. Was summer school available to everybody?
Yes. Yes, it was. Whether you flunked that or not, you could go to some school if you wanted to.
Yes.
Now they don't do that.
Correct.
My oldest two daughters, they went to summer school every year, even if they didn't have to go. They were going.
It was, and I mean, my mom had us at summer school. I didn't know that it was really no summer school because we went to school year round.
Yeah.
And
And I
there's
think
not-
we need
listen.
to start that back. I mean, I feel you need to be in summer school, whether you're failing or not, because that keeps you on top of your learning skill. And if you don't go to summer school, we provide tutoring service here at Florida Economic Consortium. So you could please give us a call at area code 407-494-2406.
Good
Ask
plug,
Reggie
Miss Wade.
Guido Fee.
Good plug.
You segue right into it.
Yeah, see, that was a good plug.
Ain't,
That was a good plug.
ain't nothing wrong with ringing your own bell.
You're right, but you know, summer school, and I don't know, you know how it was in Central Florida, and you grew up in New York,
Mhm.
but if you got enough summer school credits, you could actually get promoted a
Yes,
grade.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
Yes, sir. Yes.
And you know, we see these things, but I always think about longitudinal results, and that's long term. That long terms, and we've been doing some of the same things for 40 years, and we have not benefited or had a cash out from those investments.
Yeah.
Why are we still spending time doing the same things? Okay. One of the things I look at is, and it's coming. I see it coming, is a parental accountability.
Around the country, you see it taking place.
Yeah, it's going to change, because one of the things that people are realizing now is that, hey, you're responsible for what this kid becomes in society. And if you're raising a menace, you're gonna be punished for raising a menace. So that's coming. You're gonna see more and more parents who actually go to prison and go to jail behind raising monsters.
Those parents who show, I mean, in my opinion, and Attorney Greg Jackson he's the legal mind, but I think we're seeing those parents who show willful neglect. Those are the ones who are being held accountable. And think about this: a minor can't sign a contract, and a parent is accountable for those kids' actions while they're minor. So it splits both ways.
Isn't it something out now if the kid missed so many days, the parent and the kids have to go to the school board or something?
It's a truancy, and I think with Florida, it's about if you miss 12 days per semester, then it should trigger a truancy referral where I guess the school board engages the family to see why a kid has been absent so many times.
Do y'all know why there are counselors and social workers? Do y'all understand the basic premises why there are counselors and social workers?
So that child can have someone they can talk to, feel comfortable with speaking with, may not be your parent, that you can share.
I'm sure Doc will tell us, because I was going to say addressing the psychological need, but Doc wants this to be a quiz. Tell us, Doc.
We deal with people who cannot manage their life. That's the bottom line. That's the reality. They don't want us to say that publicly, but I'm retired. I ain't got nothing to worry about. That's what we do, because you have not learned to manage your life. We now have to give you insight to learning to manage your life, your emotional maturity, okay? Your decision making, your critical thinking. A lot of those things, especially when you use CBT, cognitive behavior therapy, thinking, acting, feeling. That's what it's built on. You're making choice. Because you can't manage your life. The court has decided you must come to this program. You can't live your life without drugging yourself and going into an alternate state of consciousness and then doing things that are criminal. So we're going to manage it for you.
Hey, Doc, And you know, that's the category I let Doc manage that. I let Doc manage that. But hey, Doc, before we you know, wind this session up, because Doc is going to be co-hosting Let's Talk Nation with me on the next segment, and we're going to roll out with the same thing we rolled in on.
Okay.
But Doc, let's let people see as we end this segment and get ready for Let's Talk Nation at 7 o'clock.
Your parents. Okay? Okay? I don't know how things gonna turn out for you. I ain't got no idea how nothing gonna turn out. No idea at all. Okay, I had to tell them that I pick y'all up. Okay? I had to tell them I pick y'all up, okay? Okay. But I didn't know nothing. I didn't know nothing this second. I told y'all don't tell me nothing. Didn't I tell you that? Okay. All right, baby. So I'm so sorry you got to go through what you're going through. But if God help you out of this, please get yourself together, baby. And it's going to take a miracle. It's going to take a miracle that we don't have. You can turn me loose now. You can sit back down because I don't know what's going to happen, baby. I don't know what's going to happen. Your grandma don't know. Ain't nothing we can do to help you now. It's all over now. I know. It's a hard pill to swallow.
They was here, see my brother no more.
No, nobody. 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 That's why when you have your precious time, it should be precious time.
I didn't get to see Gina go right yet.
Well, Andre, you have to mind your company that you keep. And I always tell you that to mind your company that you keep.
Hey, for those of you who tuned in to the sit down, that was a gut punch.
That was.
And
That breaks your heart every time you hear it. I mean,
And
Yeah.
it sounds like she did everything she needed to do for him, but he still didn't stay on that right path. Right?
boy, Doc and I are going to pick this up in the next segment, but you can feel what was going on in that room.
Mm-hmm.
Sister Wynn, Doc and I got some work to do at the 7 o'clock hour.
Okay.
And Doc, I don't know how we're going to navigate this thing, man, but for those of you who tuned in to the sit down, the Let's Talk Nation show is going to be opening up with the same segment. And I know Doc is going to have some other reels for us to preview, but we want solutions. But I think this is something that schools should be showing on a regular basis, because this is not something rehearsed. This is real life.
Yes.
yes.
With that being said, hey, we want to thank you for tuning in to the sit down every Monday from 6. And I told y'all, Doc and Sister Wynn, they'll take you past 6:45 in a minute. I'm the only one looking at the clock.
Hey, I'm on CP time.
Hey, tune in next week for the sit down. You'll get a lot more of this. Doc, Sister Wynn, I'll see you next week.
All right. Good night.
All right.